So welcome everyone to this episode of Python. This is chapter 5. In this episode, I'm going to be teaching while loops. And while loops basically repeat the code as long as the condition remains true. So I'm going to write down here, while loops repeat the code as long as the condition remains true. So that way, the reason why I'm writing this down is that way you guys can be seeing what is happening behind the scenes. So that way you guys can see like, oh, why is this happening? Why is that happening? So basically we're teaching while loops. So we're gonna start this. We're gonna start this by creating a variable, and we're gonna name this variable number, and then we're gonna assign a number on there, and then we're gonna assign a number 1. In order to start a while loop, the command to start a while loop is while. So if we want to start a while loop, we just use while. So while, we have to say our variable. So while number, let's say is less or equals than 3, colon, every time I use a loop, I have to finish it. Like I use my while condition, I have to finish it with a colon. And then we're gonna do print parentheses. We're gonna do the quotations, and then we're gonna say we're gonna say thank you. Let's be grateful, and let's say thank you, guys. Let's say thank you. Let's say thank you. Thank you. So while number is less or equal than 3, print thank you. The reason why we print thank you is because we want to be grateful, so we're gonna print thank you. And what we're gonna say, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do those that I teach already on the. I already teach this on the other part of the program, like chapter 1 and chapter 2. I already teach this, like what's number plus equals 1. So if you guys don't know, go back to the other episodes and check what's happening behind the scenes. So we have our variable name number equals 1, and then we have our while number less or equal than 3, print thank you. So we're gonna run the code just to see what happened, guys. And as you guys see, I have the result that is printed thank you 3 times. I have the result that is printed thank you 3 times. So right here, you guys see I have thank you 3 times. This is because we're running loops. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post some comments right here so you guys see what's happening. So on the first loop 1, our first loop. So a loop is just basically a circle. So our first loop, we're saying loop 1 is equals 1 is less or equal than 3. So our first loop doesn't meet our condition is not true. 1 is not less or equal than 2. So then what the loop does, it goes to the second loop. So we're gonna go loop 2 equals 2 is greater or equal than 3. So basically every time the loop runs, this command happens. So for example, the first time 1 is not greater or equal than 3. Second time, loop 2 is not greater or equal than 3. Then we're gonna do loop 3. So these are just comments. What I'm writing right here are just comments so you guys can see what's happening behind the scenes. But basically on our loop 3 equals, wait, I put two threes. My bad, guys. Sometimes you win some. And here I put 2 comments. So I made a mistake, guys. Remember, in this channel, every time we make a mistake, we pay for our mistakes. So we do 5 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we do a mistake on this channel, guys, we pay for our mistakes. So remember, you make a mistake, you take it like a champ. You recognize your mistake, and then you keep going. So loop 3 is less or equal than 3. So this is where our condition ends. So right here, our condition ends right here on this loop. That's why we printed 3 times thank you. Because 3 is greater or equal than 3. So that's where our condition ends. We cannot go to loop 4. So for example, if I try to go to loop 4, which will be equals 4 is greater or equal than 3. 4 is less or equal than 3. which in reality, that is not true. That is not true. Four is not less than or equal than 3. This is the reason why we only printed thank you 3 times. We only printed thank you 3 times. But what about, let's say if we for some reason we change our number to 0. 0, guys. Let's change our number to 0. So let's say for whatever reason we change our number to 0. So we're gonna run this again, and I'm gonna move this a little bit up so you guys can see it on your side. And right here I have thank you 4 times. Now I have thank you 4 times. Why is that? Why is it that I have thank you 4 times? The reason I have thank you 4 times is because now I have loop 0 equals 0. 0 is less or equal than 3. So now I added one more condition by saying that 0 is equals than later than 3. So basically, guys, you see that how the while loop works. So I'm gonna do one while loop so you guys can see like how while loops work. So basically, we're gonna be doing one more while loop, and this while loop will be a countdown while loop that we want to do. A countdown equals. We're gonna say 5. We're only gonna do 5 numbers for this one, guys. So countdown equals 5, and then we're gonna say while countdown is greater than 0. Remember, I use my colon. While countdown is less than 0, we're gonna print parentheses, and then we're gonna say counting down, and then we're gonna do a comma, and then we're gonna say countdown. So countdown equals 5, while countdown is greater than 0, then print counting down. So print counting down. So now what I want to say, I want to specify my statement. So my statement will be countdown minus equals 1. So countdown minus equals 1. We do a parenthesis, and then we want to print. Let's say I want to run it how it is right now. So I just want to run it how it is right now. So I'm gonna run it, and then I'm gonna maximize this so you guys can see. So you guys can see I have my counting down results right here. So I have 5 times. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let's say I want to print one more. Print the countdown. The countdown is over. The countdown is over. The countdown is over. Or the counting down. I don't know. English is not my first language, so I don't know. The counting down is over. So we're just gonna say the counting down is over. So let's run it again, and we're gonna move this a little bit to high side so you guys can see. So we have counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The countdown is over. And I want to explain what happened here, guys. So here I have negative loops. So on the other ones I have positive loops. On this one I have negative loops. The reason is because I'm going down on this time. The other time I was going the loop this way. Now I'm going the loop the other way. So I'm reversing the loop. So for example, I'm reversing the loop. So I'm going backwards. So our first loop, we're gonna say loop number 1 equals. Loop number 1 equals what happened on the first loop. So our number was 5, and 5 is less than 0. 5 is less than 0. No, sorry, my bad. 5 is greater than 0. Every time we make a mistake, remember we pay on this channel, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we make a mistake, guys, we pay for our mistake. So loop 1 equals 5 is greater than 0. On the second loop 2. Loop 2 equals 5 is greater than 1. Wait a second. I just realized that I make a mistake again, guys. Every time we make a mistake, we pay for the error. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we make a mistake, we pay for the error, guys. So I just made a mistake. So the first our number is 5. The number we have stored is 5, but we want to go all the way to 0. So 5 minus 10. So I'm trying to see why is how to what's the best way to explain this, because we're going negative, we're not going positive. So we're subtracting from 5 1. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. So I think this is the best way to explain this. So the best way to explain this, loop 2 equals so 4 minus 1 equals 3. So basically this was going to happen all the way until it reaches 0. But we're going to copy pasta this, guys. So Control C and then Control V, and then we're going to do one more. Control C and then Control V. So 4 minus 1, 3 minus 1 is equals 2. And then 2 minus 1 is equals 1. And 1 minus 1 is equals 0. But this is our third loop. This will be our for loop. And this will be our fifth loop. So basically what happened in this very simple while loop, guys, what happened right here is that we went counting down all the way from 5 to 0. So basically we reversed the loop from going one way to going the opposite way. So as you guys see, now I have the counting down is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's basically what happened on this. But I think this is enough for while loop, guys. I think with 2 loops that I teach you one loop going one way, one loop going the opposite way, so you guys can see how you can run loops on both sides. But I'm going to teach you something called, for loops. 4 loops, guys. So I'm going to teach you 4 loops. So 4 loops, basically the purpose of a for loop is to repeat 4 loops, repeat a block of code. 4 loops repeat a block of code, one for each item, one time for each item. So for loops basically what they do is they repeat a block of code for every For loops repeat a block of code one time for each item. So basically that's what for loops do, guys. So we're going to start with our first loops, and then we're going to name this book for numbers. So to make it look nice, we're going to say for numbers in. Every time we use in, for loops we have to use in, and then we're going to specify our numbers in, and then we're just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6, 7. So as you guys see, I have my for loop already. So I have 4 numbers in numbers. So inside the numbers, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, 7, guys. 6, 7. So basically what's happening here is we already declare our numbers, and then we're gonna say print parentheses numbers. So we're going to tell the loop to print all the numbers in this for loop. Basically, it's the most simple for loop, to print every single item that is inside that loop. So we're going to run this baby. And then we're gonna maximize this so you guys can see. So as you guys see, I have all the numbers printed out, every number in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. So all the numbers they were print out right here. So what I want to teach you, what I want to show you and teach you is we're gonna skip this one more. We're gonna skip this one more. No, before I go that I want to teach you. So I taught you integers. So these are integer values in for loops. But before I go deeper, let me teach you strings. So let me delete all of this and let's do a string. So we're gonna do Coca-Cola. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Coca-Cola. So I just put it right down, Coca-Cola. We're gonna do comma Pepsi, and then comma, I don't know what other branch of we're gonna do food for food in. Let me delete food. Let me add the variables of food, guys. Let's make this interesting. So let's put food for food. So we're gonna say chilaquiles. Chilaquiles basically are like some Mexican food that are the best. And then, you know what? I'm gonna change this for breakfast, guys. For breakfast. In so we have chilaquiles. We have. Let me change this so I don't make a mistake before when I start for breakfast. For breakfast. In so we have our breakfast. We have chilaquiles. We have let's see, scramble. Let's see, omelette, and let's add one more breakfast, and let's add. What other breakfast do you guys think of? Molletes. So these are breakfast, guys. These are Mexican breakfast. So we have inside our for loops, we have three types of breakfast. So we have an omelette, we have chilaquiles, and we have molletes. So we're gonna run it. And now, as you guys see, I also can print a string values for the for loop. So for loop, we can also do that. We can also print the string values. So I'm gonna delete all of this, and I'm gonna teach you a for loop, combining a for loop with an if statement. So let's run this baby again but here we're gonna declare a variable named numbers. So numbers equals, and then we're gonna specify a number. So we're gonna say 3, 5, 8, 9, 100. So I created some spaces right here. Remember, every time I do colon, and now I have to declare my variable if num in numbers. If num in numbers. Wait a second. First, we have to declare our loop for. The for loop is going to be for num in numbers. For num in numbers, remember colon. Always remember to put the colon. Always remember to put the colon, guys. Always remember to put the colons. For num in numbers, if we're going to say num is less, let's say it's greater. We're going to say if num is greater than 6, 7. If num is greater than 6, 7, guys, what we're gonna say, we're gonna print the number. So if num is greater than 6, 7, print the number. So I make a mistake, guys. As you guys see, I make a mistake every time we make a mistake. We pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you guys see, I made a mistake. You're not supposed to put a colon here, so Python taught me. So we're gonna run it, and our result is 100. Our result is 100. On the next episode, I thought if condition. So I'm combining a for loop with an if condition. So basically, that's what's happening. But let's do one more number, and let's do 120. So I'm adding one more number in my list, and that's 120, and I'm gonna run it again. And as you guys see, now I have 100 and 120. This is because there's more than one number that is greater than 67. Greater than 67. So that's why I had 100 and 120. But we can also include an elif statement. So we can say elif num is less than 5. Elif num is less than 5. Here I make a mistake. It's less than 5. Colon. Print parenthesis num. And we're gonna run this again. And now you guys have, I have the number 3, 100, and 120. So 3, it was less than 5, but if we do less or equal than 5, then you guys see my numbers are 3, 5, 6, 7, 120, and 100. So basically that's what happened, but we can delete this. We can delete this elif statement. I just wanted to show you guys that you can combine if with elif statements inside a for loop. And basically what I want to teach you right now, so I'm going to teach you the command break. So I'm going to run this one more time so you guys can see what break does. So as you guys see, my for loop only printed one of the items that it was greater than 67, which is 100. And then he broke the loop. So for example, loop is spinning, and then say like, hey, the first time you find a first number that is greater than 67, break the loop, like a temporary break the loop. So he broke the loop, and then he broke the loop, guys, and he just stopped it on the first number. So he breaks the loop. What breaks does, he breaks the temporary the loop until it meets the first condition that is true. So basically that's what the break command does. And now I'm going to teach you another command that is called the continue command. So the continue command, this is the continue command, guys, that I'm going to teach you next. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete all of this so you guys can see what the continue command. So because now I'm going to go with the continue command. So what the continue command does, we're going to set another for loop. So we're going to say for numbers. What is going to say for number in range? So now I'm teaching you something that I haven't teach you, range, guy. So parentheses, and then we're going to say a range of 5. We're going to say a range of 5, and then we're going to do colon every time. Remember, every time I do a for loop, I specify the range, which is the range will be 5. So we're going to hit enter. And then we're going to include it with an if. So now we're combining for loops with if statements. So if number is less, let's do this. Let's I think I haven't shown you too much about comparison operators. So equals 2. So basically I remember I thought this about like a comparison operator. So on all my episodes, I think on either chapter 1 or chapter 2, you guys are going to learn about this. So if you guys don't know what's happening, like go back to other chapters and learn this. So if numbers equals 2, and then we're going to specify continue. So this is what I wanted to teach you, the continue command, guys. And then we're going to say print. We want to print what I want to print, and then we want to print the number. So we want to print the number. And let's run this baby again. And as you guys see, the results that I have are 0, 1, 3, and 4. 0, 1, 3, and 4. And the reason is because there's a range from 0 to like a range 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 numbers inside that range. But we say like if the number is equals 2, it's a comparison operator, guys, right here. If the number is equals 2, then continue. So it doesn't break the loop, but it continues. Like it just stops right there and it continues. So that's what basically the for loop does. So we're gonna delete this now that I taught you the range, like how to use the range and what happens, we're gonna do another one. So now we're gonna declare a variable again. We're using numbers for this one, and then we're gonna do colon, and then we're gonna do the numbers 2, 2, 4, 6. We're gonna do just like numbers that are increasing by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we're gonna start our for loop for numbers, for num in numbers, colon. Every time I start a for loop, I start with 4. So for num in numbers, and then we're gonna say double equals num times 2. So inside our for loop, I'm declaring a variable named double, and then I'm multiplying the number. So I'm multiplying 2, 4, 6, and 8 times 2. So I'm gonna multiply every single item that is inside that list times 2, and then let's print this. So we're gonna print. Let's do this, and let's say original number, comma num. So we're gonna print the original number, comma num, just to see what happens. We're gonna hit enter. So these are our original number, guys. So our original numbers for the inside that list that we have are 2, 4, 6, and 8. But let's say that now I want to multiply every single number inside that list times 2. If I didn't have a for loop, I will have to print 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 6 times 2, 8 times 2. I'll have to go one by one by one by one. But because we have the for loop, we can print another one. So we can print let's say the multiplication of all original numbers times 2 is colon, and then we're gonna specify our variable double. So like I said, guys, if I didn't have a for loop, I will have to multiply every single number times 2. But because I used the for loop, guys, I was able to like multiply every single number times 2 without having to write too much line of code. So let me move this up so you guys can see what happened. So I'm gonna move this up. And as you guys see, I have my original numbers, and then I have the multiplication of the numbers, which was 4, 8, 12, and 16. I have all the numbers that were multiplied times 2. So as you guys see, I have all the numbers that were multiplied times 2. And then, yeah, this is basically how we set up a for loop that multiplies numbers times 2 without having to go line by line by line by line. So it will save us so much space, and it will look our code to make it more beautiful. So I'm gonna delete all of this, guys. I'm gonna delete all of this. And what I'm gonna be teaching again, I'm gonna do numbers. So numbers equals, we're gonna set up a list. 3. Nah, let's do simple numbers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Numbers equals 1, 2, 3, and 4. Numbers equals 1, 2, 3, and 4. I didn't want to do that. And then we're going to say enter. And then I'm going to see a square. A square equals just the curly brackets. So as you guys see, I don't have anything inside my square, so I just have a curly brackets. And this is because this is just the parameters, but I need the values of those parameters. So let's start with our for loop. So for num in numbers, remember I opened the quotation, the colon. Always remember to open a colon, guys. And then I'm going to teach you something that I already taught you, combining a for loop with the command square. So we have the square. Remember, inside a variable square, there's nothing. We have curly brackets used to set up a list. But I'm going to call that variable, and then I'm going to run it inside the for loop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say square.append, and then inside that, I'm going to specify the parameters that I want to happen. So I'm going to say that num times 2. So as you guys see, I have this times for nums times 2, which basically the times 2 does, it elevates to the potential. So for example, 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4. So basically this what it does, it multiplies the same number to the exponent. So it's the exponent. So for example, if I do 3, so it's going to say 1 times 1 times 1, 2 times 2, which will be 4 times 2, 8. And then the second one, 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 27. And 4 times 4, 16 times 3, 48, I believe. 16, yeah, 48. So I'm going to show you how we can do this. So now we're going to print parentheses, the original numbers. We're going to do colon. Guys, remember to not make mistake, guys. Remember to not make mistakes. So we're going to do comma, and then we're going to say numbers. So I'm not going to show you the pen yet, but I'm going to run just this line so you guys can see what happened. Well, let's run this line. So our original number, guys, let me clear all of this because it's getting very messy. So you guys can see. So our original numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are our original numbers. But now let's say I want to call this function. I want to call this to elevate every single number to the third power. So I want to call this function. So for example, like I already explained, if you guys just got here to the stream, I am learning. Should I learn basics first, or should I practice the question topics? Hey, how are you, Mansangar? Hey, how are you, Big Boss? How are you? Yeah, if you're learning, boss, I'm throwing this course. Subscribe to the channel, boss. This is the chapter 5, so it's probably gonna be a little bit hard for you to understand what I'm doing, Big Boss, because I have a complete course from chapter 1 to chapter 5. This is chapter 5 that is gonna help you to pass your PCEP Python certification. If you want to be a programmer, this course will help you to pass, guarantee you pass for free this certification, and then it can help you land a job as a programmer. But you definitely stay here so you can see what's going on. But I recommend you, when you have time, going back all the way from chapter 1 to learn the basics and all the way to this chapter. So all the streams are out there in my channel for you, Big Boss. But you definitely stay here so you can learn as well. But like I said, whenever you have time, boss, go back all the way to chapter 1 so you can learn what's going on here. So let's drink water. And also, thank you for being here, boss. Thank you for being here. A lot of appreciation to everyone that's been here. Stay hard. That's all I can say. So, like I said, what this does is going to fill everything inside here, and it's going to multiply every single number. It's going to do the exponent. So it's going to do the exponent to the third power. So, for example, 1 times 1 is 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, 8. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3, 27. And 4 times 4, 16 times 4, 48. So we're going to run this. So print, parenthesis, the numbers elevated to the third exponent, because you are elevating the numbers to the third exponent. I subscribe. I think you learn from basics. You're doing with word method. A lot of appreciation, bros. A lot of appreciation, Mansan Sagar. A lot of appreciation, boss. If you know more people to this, I'm throwing this course for completely free, man. Completely free. I'm getting paid $0, 0 cents. This is just for free. I like to do this. I like to teach. If I can help somebody, if I can help at least one person, Thank you, big boss. Thank you, big brother. A lot of patience. So learn right here, boss. Learn right here. So the numbers elevated to the third exponent, and then we're gonna say comma comma squared, comma squared. But as you guys see in my variable square, I don't have anything inside. There's literally no value. There's nothing stored in there. So what is it gonna print? What is it gonna print if there's nothing in there? So let's run it so you guys can see. Let's run this baby again. So as you guys see, I made a mistake right here. And remember, every time we make a mistake, we pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we make a mistake, guys, in this channel, we pay for our mistakes, guys. So in this channel, if we make a mistake, we pay for our mistakes. So as you guys see the result, I said that when 4 times 4 times 4 was 48, but in reality, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So 4 times 4 is 16. I have a pen right here, and I have a notebook. So let me do my math, because I was doing math in my head. But let me make sure that it's actually, this code is actually working, because I thought 4 times 4 times 4 was 48, but 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. So 4. Yep, I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake. So you guys see right here, 4 times 4 times 4 is 16. So yep, so I made a mistake, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made a mistake, guys. I said that 4 times 4 times 4 was 48, but no, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So basically, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, guys. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So we pretty much made a mistake, but we take it like a champ. We take it like a champ. We take it like a champ. So let's drink some water. Beautiful. And now I'm going to delete all of this so you guys see what happened exactly here on this loop. And I'm going to start with a new loop. Thank you, Mahan, for subscribing, bros. A lot of appreciation. Like I said, if you watch all my course, I guarantee you that you can pass the PCEP certification and you can become a programmer, boss. So maybe this is going to focus on 10 episodes. So with this 10 episodes, you can pass that certification, guarantee, boss. So let's continue. So I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to do a new loop. So I'm going to do a new loop, and this loop is going to be grades. Let's pretend that we're an institution, and let's say that we want to modify grades of students. So let's start modifying grades of a student, guys. So let's say that the first student has a grade of 88%, the second student has a grade of 99. We're gonna have a student have the grade of 67, and then we're gonna have a student of having a grade of 100. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here, Mahava. Thank you for being here, for stopping by, boss. Like I said, watch all the episodes, and I guarantee you will become a great programmer. So a lot of appreciation, and thank you for subscribing. Be safe, big boss. So we're gonna continue with this stream. So we're gonna modify grades on this for loop. So we're gonna say grades, and then we have our grades. We have our list with our grades. I like to have a space. It's not required, guys, right here, but you guys can have the spaces right here. I like to have the spaces just to have my code look cleaner, but it's not required. Python will still run, but I like to do it that way. And then we're gonna print parentheses original grades. So we're gonna print the original grades, and then we're gonna say comma grades. So let me clear all of this and let me run it. So our original grades, guys, are 88, 99, 67, and 100. So let's say for whatever reason you got a low grade and then you want to change your grade. I'm going to show you how to modify a list, how to increase the list, like how to do this. So we're going to start with our for loop. So our for loop, remember, our for loop can modify every single item that is inside that list. So we're going to say for I in range. Remember, I already teach you about range. So for I in range, parentheses, we're going to say the length, parentheses, we're going to specify our grades, This is one of the greatest loops that you guys can do with for loops. This advanced level loops, guys. I'm taking you more advanced from lower to advanced so you guys can understand exactly what's happening. So for I in range, length, rate, colon. And what we're going to do here, we're going to say grade, curly brackets. We're going to specify our letter I, that is basically a temporary variable that we select, that we created, named I. And we're going to say equals grade. Like I said, I like to have spaces here just to have our code look more professional. Grades, and then we're going to do again the curly brackets. We're going to say I plus 5. So what we're doing, guys, right now, we're adding 5 to every single person. We're adding 5 to every single person that got their scores. So for example, basically everyone passed their test, but this guy right here, this guy didn't pass his test. There's a person that didn't pass his test. But what we're going to do here, we're going to modify the grades to everyone. And then we're going to add 5 points to every single person. So let's drink some water. Let's drink some water, guys. And we're going to do this. And then we're going to do print, parenthesis, print, parenthesis. And then we're going to say the new grades are. So basically what we're doing, guys, if you just got here to the channel, what we're doing is we're modifying grades to people. Like, for example, if you didn't pass, what we're going to do, we're going to add you 5 more points to every single person, so that way people can pass. So the new grades are, and then we're going to specify the grades. So comma grades, comma grades. And let's run this baby. So as you guys see, let me clear this so you guys can see. Let me clear this and let's run it again. Let's run this again. And I'm going to move this a little bit up. And what just did, guys, if you are new here to the channel, subscribe, because basically this is chapter 5 of the whole Python course. This is chapter 5, guys. And we're basically going from 0 to hero. In other words, like going from 0 to hero. So if you're new, watch what's happening right here. So we're modifying grades. So these are our original grades. So 88 plus 5 is 93. The guy that had a 99 just went all the way to 104. The guy that had a 67 went to 72. And the one that had a 100 went all the way to 105. I don't think this is a good idea to modify grades, guys, because as you guys see, now everyone exceeded the expectation. Like now everyone went all the way higher than 105. So what we can do 2 things. We can lower the grade. So we're saying that this guy got 80. We're going to say that this guy got 90. And we're going to say that this guy got a 85. And we're going to increase the grades by 7. So I'm going to clear all of this again. I'm going to run it again. And here are our original grades. These are our original grades, guys. 80, 90, 67, and 85. And we also have our new grades, which are 87, 97, 74, 92. So as you guys see, now we have our modified grades, which if we didn't have to do this, we're gonna have, if loops didn't exist on coding, we would have to add 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. We basically had to do that 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. But because loop exists, guys, we can do this. So I'm also going to show you one more time, one last one. I'm going to show you one last one. But in this for loop, we're going to use dictionaries. So right now we use a for loop with list. This is a list. But now we're going to use a for loop with dictionaries. I have teach dictionaries in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. On one of those chapters, I teach dictionaries. But right now, I'm going to show you how to modify a dictionary inside a for loop, which right now we're a little bit advanced, guys. So if you haven't watched all the way from chapter 1, I'm pretty sure you're lost. It's going to be hard for you to understand, but stay here because it's always good to learn. So maybe in the future you can catch this, or if you already done Python before and you are here, I guarantee you that you will know what's happening. But if you are new, It's probably going to be confusing for you, but drink water, stay hydrated, and we're going to do our last loop. I don't know how long I've been already transmitting, guys. Do you guys know how long I've been? I usually try to do this codes around an hour, but I think I've been here for like I don't know. Let's say I think close in an hour. I don't know. I'll think that close in an hour, but maybe I could be wrong. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm a little bit less than an hour, so we're gonna do one more loop. So we'll do one more loop. We'll do the last loop, and this loop is gonna be the last for loop, and this loop is gonna be a student underscore. We're gonna name it student underscore grades equals curly that's not what I wanted. Now we're gonna do dictionary, guys. So we're gonna do dictionaries, modifying dictionary. So we're gonna say the first student is, we have a Spider-Man as our first student, Spider-Man, and we're gonna assign a grade of 90. Let's say that Spider-Man got 90 points, boys. And then we're gonna have 3 students on this list, guys. So we're gonna have 3 students. So we're gonna have a Spider-Man. We're gonna have what have I done? We're gonna have a Spider-Man. We're gonna have Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Goku's in that same class, and Goku had a 75. Goku barely passed it. And then we're gonna have who else we can have on this student, on this class. Who else we can have? Let's say we have Thor is not that famous, guy. Thor is not that famous. Let's say we have Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. Let's say we have CR7. CR7 is also in this class, guys. And CR7 got an 100. So I have a list right now here. And this list is called student grade. So Spider-Man got a score of 90. Goku got a score of 75. And CR7 had a score of 100. So what we're going to do, we're going to say for students, I'm going to name this as students, this invisible variable. This is basically an invisible variable. We're saying do this every single item that is inside this list in students dot grades. So for students in students dot grades, remember, every time we do a for loop, we do the colon to specify that this is where our for loop starts, and then our indentation starts. So what we're gonna say is we're gonna make a new variable, and we're gonna call this variable grade. Grade equals a student underscore grades. Grade equals a student underscore grades. And then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna say name. We're gonna say name, guys. We're gonna say name. Grade equals a student underscore grades, parenthesis, this quotations, name. Because I want to print all the names that are inside that. And then we're gonna say print parenthesis name, comma, parenthesis has a grade of colon, comma, grade. So great. So here I made a mistake, guys. I made a mistake right here. I just made a mistake right here. So remember, every time we do a mistake, we pay. So I just made a mistake right here, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we make a mistake, guys, we pay right here on this channel. Remember, guys, every time we make a mistake, we pay. So basically, I named this invisible variable students. And as you guys see, what I'm calling, I'm basically calling anything. There is no invisible variable named name. My invisible variable was a student. So let me fix this. Students underscore grades. And what I have to do here, I have to specify students, guys, because I want the name of the students. So students, comma. So basically what happened, I had a mistake. I didn't run the code, guys, but basically what happened is that I named this invisible variable inside our for loops, the for, and because that didn't exist, guys, that didn't exist, it wouldn't break my code. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run this, and then now we have a completely list of Spider-Man has a grade of 90, Goku has a grade of 75, and CR7 has a grade of 100, guys. So as you guys see, now we have a completely dictionary, printing the results, printing everything, printing all the stuff that we have. I'm thinking if I should do one more formatted loop. I think we have enough time to do one more practice, just in case you guys haven't really catch how loops work. So we're gonna do one more loop. Like I said, all my the theory part of the videos are around 5 to 10 minutes. The programming part is usually around 1 hour, because I believe the programming part is the most important part. So we're gonna do one more loop, and this loop is gonna be for a fair points, for like a fair, like a city fair or something like that. So we're gonna say that we have 75 points. So we have 0.75, and then we're gonna say if points. No. I'm not gonna do this one, guys, because this was part of this was not a for loop. This was part of a if function. So I'm trying to see if I should do one more loop. Okay, let's do one more loop, guys. Let's do one more loop, guys. But on this loop, I'm gonna teach the break command. So numbers equals, we're gonna say 3, 6, 9, and 12. Let's do this numbers, guys. Let's do 3, 6, 9, and 12. Just a little bit of numbers, just to do the last loop before we finish our channel, before I finish our episode. So we're gonna say for in numbers. Remember, every time I do a loop, I use colon, guys. Remember this. I've been telling you, but I've seen people making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. And this is why I keep repeating it, because I'm trying to make avoid you guys making these mistakes. Sometimes I make the mistakes too. As you guys see, when I make a mistake, I pay them. I'm like, oh, I did this mistake. So it happens sometimes, guys. So we're gonna say inside our for loop, if number is less than, let's say 9. If number is less than 9, colon, remember the colon, then we're gonna print. Let's just print the number. Let's just print whatever number is greater than 9. So we have a very simple for loop. We're gonna run it, and then the numbers that are less than 9 are 3 and 6 inside our list. So we have 3 and 6. We also have 9, but the only numbers that are less than 9 are 3 and 6. But what about if we change this to greater or equal to 9? We're gonna clear this again, and then we're gonna run this again. And now you guys have seen that I printed 3, 6, and 9. This is because 3, 6, and 9 are greater or equal than 9. But I want to teach you on this last for loop is something called the command break. The command break. So I wanted to teach you the command break so you guys can see what happens with the command break. So we're gonna run this one more time. Let me clear this before I do this. Let me clear this so you guys can see exactly what happens with this with all of this line of code, with just like 4 lines of code. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run this one more time. And as you guys see, the only number it printed was 3. And this is because even though 3, 6, and 9 are less or equal to 9, He only printed, our only result was 3. So the loop, what it does is just spins, and then so those the spin. So when he finds 3, when he finds the first number that is less or equal to 9, it breaks the loop. So it's like you're spinning, you find a 3, break the loop. So break temporarily the loop. So that I wanted to teach you this because I think it's very important that you guys are going to see it on the more advanced level of Python programming. But basically, I just wanted to teach you that just so you guys understand what this break command does. And I think for today, that's enough. That's enough for today of for loops and while loops. I think with this, you guys should be able to define for and while loops. I think it's enough for today, guys. So I want to end this with the thank you comment. So we're gonna end thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for all the subscribers and non-subscribers as well. So we're gonna end this command by saying thank you to all the subscribers and non-subscribers as well. And if you were here or if you are watching the repetition of this live stream, thank you. And I believe this is it for today. That's it for today, guys. We'll see you in the next live stream, and hopefully you guys could learn like for loops and while loops as well. But that's it for today, guys. So